You should make a list of how you want your future husband to be, and I'm gonna prove it to you with the Bible. Now, before we start, let me introduce myself. My name is Ana Luz, and I'm a writer on a mission to reach 1 million readers or 100K before the year ends. I made this book club to share my personal writings and my books, and we're starting the book club with day number 1 of my personal bestseller that it's called Single and in Love, a 30-day devotional to prepare you for the love of your life. Now, before we begin and before you start making a list about how you want your husband to be, let me tell you why I wrote this book. So right now I'm happily married and I couldn't ask for a better husband. He truly is simply the best. And I couldn't ask for a better one. So before I even got married or got into a relationship or get into a relationship, I was single, of course. But not only was I single, but I lived every year of my singleness completely in love. Why? Because I got to know what real love was supposed to look like and how. Well, I got to know Jesus. And hear me out before you even skip the video or anything. I don't know about you, but I truly believe in love, and I believe Jesus is love. Not that he loves us, I mean, yes, but also he really is love. And because I got to know Jesus and know how much and deeply and unconditionally he loved me, I knew what love was. So I only got one boyfriend, and that is now my husband. And when we were just starting out our relationship, because I knew what love was supposed to look like, I knew he really loved me. And that's why we're married. Because day after day, he still proves me right that he really loves me, because he loves me like Jesus loves me. And that's why I wrote this book, because back in the day when I was a teen, and still I hear my girlfriends talking about how a man broke their heart. I'm like, girl, what do you mean a man broke your heart? Like, seriously, life is already gonna break your heart. You don't need a man for that. So if I can spare you from a couple of heartbreaks, I think my job here is almost done, because I don't want you to just get married. Of course, if you get married, that's just fabulous, and actually a lot of my readers have gotten married. But what I want the most for you is to live a life full of love. Whether you're single, married, engaged, whatever, you need to live a life full of love. I really believe that's what we came here for, to be loved and love in return. Also, I'm not saying that the man for you, even if it's sent divinely by God, he won't break your heart. That's very possible, because we are humans after all. But you can save yourself from a couple of ones, right? So let's start with the devotional. Every day we'll go through each of the 30 days that this devotional has, and we'll be discussing it. And every day is gonna be a brand new video. So today is day number 1, which is called the One Man version. Now, let's get started with the reading. I'm gonna read it to you. I'm gonna use my iPad for this because I don't have the physical copy, but you can get it on Amazon, or to go at your own pace, or simply to have it for yourself. And if you don't worry, girl. I'll be reading it, and you can just come back to the book club and we'll go through it. So this is day number 1. Have you ever imagined what the man you'll marry will be like? Will he have brown or blonde hair? What will his style be like, or his personality? I'm sure you have. Probably more than once. We all do. And there's nothing wrong with that. We're all naturally drawn to certain kinds of people, and that's okay. If we all liked each other the same way, well, just imagine the chaos that would be. Today we're going to kick off our devotional with something fun. First, grab a small notebook. I'm gonna need you to grab a small notebook that you're gonna keep specifically for this book, because we'll be doing a lot of exercises and a lot of Bible reading. So you also want to go back to it in the future and just to see how life has been for you, and hopefully it will be a life full of happiness, joy, and love. So let's get back to the reading. In it, make a list of all the qualities you hope your future husband will have. But before you start writing, take a moment to pray. Invite Jesus into this moment and ask him to guide you. Ask him to help you create this list with wisdom, not just thinking about superficial things like appearance, but also about what really matters: his values, principles, character, personality, and more. With God, you can be as specific as you want if you have faith. You can ask that your future husband has had 30 past relationships or not at all. So be careful what you ask for. Ask with wisdom, because as Jesus said, ask and it will be given to you. A great example of someone who asked and received exactly what he prayed for is the story of Isaac and Rebekah. Do you remember it? I don't know if you have heard this story or if it's the first time that you're hearing about it, but I highly encourage you to go ahead and read it. But for now, let's go back into the reading and then I'm going to explain some more. Abraham wanted a wife for his son Isaac. So what did he do? He sent his servant to find her. Looking for a spouse, especially for the son of a master, was no small matter. That's why the servant very wisely prayed and asked God to show his love for Abraham by revealing the right woman. What's amazing about this is how specific the servant was in his prayer, and God answered him exactly as he asked. Rebekah showed up just as he had prayed for, and if God could do that for a servant who wasn't even praying for himself, imagine what he'll do for you, his beloved daughter. Another important detail in the story of Isaac and Rebekah is the role of their parents. Abraham was the one who sent for his son's future wife, and he was clear about where she should come from and what she should be like. On the other side, when Rebekah's father recognized that it was God's will for her to go with Isaac, he allowed her to live with a blessing. So here's a little recommendation. When writing your list, include that you and your future husband will marry with both your family's blessings. And if you feel comfortable, ask your parents to pray for the man who will one day be your husband, especially if you're a teen or you are in your early 20s. They love you and want the best for you. Maybe they're already praying for him. Now here's the exercise for today's reading. Read the story of Isaac and Rebekah. Let their story inspire you as you write the list of qualities of your future husband. Remember everything we talked about above, and don't worry about making your list perfect or complete. You can always update it over time. Most of all, seek God's will because what seems right to you might not be what God has in mind. And the Bible reading for today will be Genesis chapter 24 and Matthew chapter 7 verses 7 through 8. Now, before you get into any exercise or your little notebook, let's discuss a little about this. So I don't know if you're familiar with the Bible, with Jesus, or praying, but I hope truly that you give it a try if you are looking for love. Because girl, you can search for anywhere in the world you want, in as many relationships as you want, but true love can only be found in Jesus. I mean, what do you want me to say? That's really it. But I'm gonna explain to you some things about what we just read. As you just heard, both Abraham and his servant made a list describing how they wanted Rebekah to be. And that's your first proof that you should be making a list for a husband. So some people say you shouldn't, but I say you should, because reality is that if you don't know what you're looking for, if you don't know what you want, what you value, or what you like, you'll end up settling for anything. And settling can bring a lot of heartbreaks. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to find the perfect man, because there's not such a thing as a perfect man or a woman. Well, there is a perfect man, and his name is Jesus, which leads me to my next piece of advice. If you're wondering what to put at the very top of your list, let it be this: that he loves you like Jesus loves you. Now, you might not know how Jesus loves you. So to make it short, well, he was a perfect man, He lived a perfect life and he gave his life on the cross to save you, to love you, to save you from hell. Now, God does not send anybody to hell. I'm not looking for a religious discussion. I'm just talking about my own personal experience. I mean, did you know that He has every hair on your head counted? I mean, not just counted, but He actually knows the number of this hair and this hair, and He knows it for your hair as well. And He has every day of your life written in His book. And if you love Him, if you choose to love Him in return, His promise is that your book, your life, will end up with a happy ending. And also, He's not asking anything from you. He just wants to love you. If you want to love Him, that's just amazing. But if you don't, that's not gonna stop Him from loving you. And trust me, you want a man that loves you like that. Because here's the reality. Your husband, he can fail you, and most likely he will fail you at some point, because we are all humans, and that's unfortunately what we do. We fail. Even if we don't want to, we still do. But if your husband loves you like Jesus, he'll always put you before his own needs. And even when he fails, he'll keep striving to be a better man for you. So that's my advice for today. Take it, pray about it, and make your list. I myself made a list of how I wanted my husband to be, and he is like that. So do the list and keep it, and we'll keep on reading the following days. So that's it for day 1. If you want to go at your own pace, you can always find the book on Amazon, or just come back here for the next video, which is going to be day number 2, and that one is called The One Woman version. If you enjoyed today's reading, please like this video and subscribe to the channel so I know that you are joining the book club, and share it with a friend who's also single and wants to be in love. And I'll see you tomorrow for day number 2.